Hello everybody, my name is Cyberman Alf, and just thank you all so much. A few months ago, my target by Christmas was to hit 20 subscribers. 20 subscribers, and we're not even at Christmas yet, and I've hit 100. So thank you all so much. Now I wanted to do something sort of special for my 100 subscriber special, but I didn't want to just talk for ages, so I decided that I would give you some actual content related to 100. So I bring you my top 100 Doctor Who episodes of the modern era. Obviously not all in one go, because it would be a very long video. Now, if you want to leave yours down in the comment section below, then do that. Do all 100 if you want. I'd like to see someone try and do that. But I'm not going to talk too much longer, because this is going to be a very long video as it is. I'm just going to get on with the video. So, number 100, we have 42. Chris Chibnall episode. Now, this one's just alright. There's nothing too good about it, nothing glaringly bad about it. The plot's alright, the gimmick could work really well, but there are just a lot of mistakes this episode makes, and it isn't that good in the grand scheme of things. Number 99, The Husbands of River Song. A Christmas special involving Nardole and a giant robot which can switch heads. Now, I don't think this episode's inherently bad, and I think it's definitely a good Christmas special. And I think the reason it's down at 99 for me is really I just prefer the episodes above this than the normal episodes. Number 98, we have Listen. Now, Listen's a very odd episode. It really doesn't make a ton of sense. It explores an interesting concept that the Doctor comes up with, but that's really the only interesting thing I have to say about it. Number 97, Let's Kill Hitler. The first episode after the break of Series 6 of Doctor Who. And again, like the other episodes lower down on this list, it explores a very interesting concept. It explores the concept of what if there was people in the future who came back to give what they saw as justice to people in the past. And again, this just makes a few too many mistakes. The River Song thing feels out of place here. Number 96, Kill the Moon. This one is basically up here and not. This one's on the list because it shows the darker side of the Doctor, and he leaves Clara at the end because it's all too much. I think that's something that really works in the story. Something that doesn't work, the moon being an egg. Number 95, The Witchfinders. The first Jodie Whittaker episode on this list. It's definitely one of the weaker ones of Series 11, but it's alright. There's a lot I like and a lot I don't like. In the other ones, everything was just okay. In this one, there is stuff I like. Number 94, The Battle of Rans Korav Kolos. This one is disappointing, to say the least. Works very well as a finale episode. I mean, no, it doesn't work well as the finale episode. It works well as an episode on its own. It feels like an episode we should have had in the middle of the series to reintroduce Tim Shaw before the finale. So, a good episode, not a good finale. Number 93, Robot of Sherwood. I used to love this one so much. I still do. It's not the greatest episode, but I just love it. I love the concept, and Robin and the Doctor work so well. And the Doctor's spoon. Number 92, Rose, the episode that started it all off. Now, should this be higher? Probably. Why is it this low? It's just, to be fair, not the best episode in the world. It is definitely not the worst episode. I think it's perfect to set up a series, but that's the one problem. It sets everything up for you. So it's good to watch once, but not to rewatch, because you get introduced to concepts you've been introduced a million times to. Number 91, The Rings of Akaten. This episode this is a fine episode. I think mainly the reason it's up here is for that speech that the 11th Doctor does. I think that's mainly the only reason why it's up here. I love the fact that there's lots of different aliens involved. And you go around and they're not all like Doctor Who aliens, so I was spotting aliens from other BBC TV shows like Mission 2110, which was on CBBC about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, so it's quite cool to go through and spot things like that. Number 90, The Snowmen. Now, something I love about this episode, I love Richard E. Grant as the intelligence. I think that was an amazing casting choice right there. The Snowmen, they don't work that well, like you can think of them melting, and they do. Should have had the Yeti, and then it would have been a lot higher. Number 89, The Power of Three. Now this is another Chibnall episode, and there's nothing inherently bad about this. Actually, I would go as far to say it's really good, and then it just ends for no reason. You're going through the entire episode doing really well, you find out who the villain is, and then it just ends. I love Brian. I love the fact that he's waiting, watching the cube. I think everything about this episode is so great, apart from the end. Number 88, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. I think this is slightly underrated. I love the concept of episodes where you go into the TARDIS and you see more of the TARDIS. I think the time zombies are a neat idea of having them be them from the future once they've died. I think that's a good idea that works in this story. 87, Gridlock. Yeah, I know some people consider this one quite underrated, and I think it's alright. Mainly the reason it's down so low is really because it's just, I forget it all the time. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's forgettable, so I don't really remember the good moments in Gridlock. Whereas episodes you could argue worse, like Daleks and Manhattan Evolution of the Daleks. At least I remember what happens in them. Number 86, The Shakespeare Code. This one again, it works, it's functional. I think Shakespeare works well. I think the villains are quite good, but that's really about it. It's just forgettable, this one. It's not necessarily bad, but it's forgettable. Number 85, Boomtown. Boomtown's underrated in my opinion. I know I've got it quite low down on my list, and it's not bad. The problem is it's just not the best. I think it works well as a budget episode, but that's all it really is, a budget filler episode. Number 84, Smile. Smile. I like Smile. I feel like it should be higher on my list, because I love Series 10. It's my favourite series as Modern Era, and I love this episode, so it should be higher, but looking at it, I just prefer the ones on this list slightly more than this. Number 83. Nightmare in Silver. There is one glaringly big problem with this story. It's just, there's a problem with the Cybermen. Ooh, they just upgrade. You found a way to stop the Cybermen. Ooh, they upgrade to stop it. That's my one problem with this episode. That they just upgrade the whole entire time. Number 82. The God Complex. This episode is great. I really like this episode, so why is it so low? It's forgettable, at least for me. It's forgettable at the most. To be fair, there's nothing wrong with it, it is just forgettable. Number 81. The Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone. This should be higher on my list. It's great. It's absolutely amazing. Why isn't it? One thing, at least for me, ruins this entire episode. Walk like you can see. That one line ruins the entire concept of the Weeping Angels. And kind of makes everything they do irrelevant, because then people could just pretend they can see them the whole time. That makes no sense. How are they going to know if you're pretending to see them? The 10th Doctor says it's a fact of their biology that they can only move when they're not being seen. And this makes no sense at all. That's the only reason it's in this position and not any higher. Number 80. The Fires of Pompeii. Fires in Pompeii is great. It's just I prefer the ones above this, and it's got Peter Capaldi in it, so that's another added bonus. Planet of the Ood comes in at 79. Again, this is a good episode. It's just really forgettable. I couldn't tell you anything about this episode apart from there's like some company or something. And it also has some nice character development for Donna as well. 78. Planet of the Dead. I think this one works relatively well. I think the stingray things are quite inventive, even though they are just giant stingrays. My one main problem with this one is that nothing much happens in it. I think that there are the stingrays coming to Earth, and then I don't really remember how they stop them. That's my one problem with this episode. Number 77, Daleks of Manhattan, the Evolution of the Daleks. It's not great, is it, this episode? It's really not great, but the reason it's probably this high is because it's more memorable than the other ones on this list. That is probably the only reason. Number 76, A Town Called Mercy. This story it's fine, really. There's nothing more to say about it. There are some moments I like. Plot's quite good. I think that's mainly the thing I like the most about it. It's quite a good twist in it, but apart from that, it's just fine. Number 75, Kablam. Kablam isn't the best episode in the world, but it's certainly not the worst. Now, I think the reason it's this high is because it feels Doctor Who-y. Unlike a lot of other episodes, this was the most Doctor Who-y. So that was part 1 of the top 100 Doctor Who episodes of the modern era for my 100 subscribers special. Tell me what you think down in the comment section below, and if you're brave and feel like doing it, put all 100 down in the comment section below. The first person to do that, I will pin that comment. I've been Cyberman Alf. thank you for 100 subscribers, but from me for now, it's goodbye.